Hi, Rich Carrubba for bowlingball.com. Let's talk today about how to improve your bowling balance. Wow, balance is arguably one of the most important components of making a good approach because it allows you to be in good position at that critical moment when you're releasing your bowling ball. So let's talk about what it takes to maintain good balance, and that is primarily good posture. Being in a good athletic position right from your setup all the way through your approach, and particularly at the finish of your approach at the foul line while you're releasing the ball and while you follow through and hold your form as the ball rolls toward its target. Now, in your stance position, I like to think that if you were to assume a good athletic posture, that would be simply to have your tail out just slightly and your shoulders tilted forward, maybe just 10 degrees or 15 degrees, whichever is comfortable, not very much, and flex your knees down ever so slightly. Notice I said flex, not bend. Just get them down. But when the knees are flexed, the big muscles of the legs come into play and give you that added leverage and power you're looking for just from Mother Nature. Next, try to keep your upper body also aligned toward your target. The front part of your bowling shoulder should face the target on the lane, so the hips and the shoulders are aligned toward your target. And if your knees are flexed and your body's tilted forward just slightly, you'll have a straight line between the fronts of your shoulders down through the tips of the kneecaps and all the way down to the toes of your bowling shoes. And a straight line up and down with those three parts of your body will keep you in the best position for good balance. We see examples of that in other sports by other athletes all the time. You want to be in a good athletic position to begin your approach. And it makes sense that the less moving parts, the less chance for error. So if you start out in a good athletic position, why not put yourself in the finishing position while you're aiming in your stance? The position you want to be in when you release the ball, begin with that position. And then maintain it all the way through your approach. So the only thing really moving is your two legs and your bowling arm. Let's simplify things. And your opposite bowling arm, the opposite hand and bowling arm, should be pushed out to the side, fully extended, probably about waist high as if you're pushing down on a tabletop with little wheels on it, and you're taking that tabletop with you to the foul line. If you have your hand about waist high, it'll keep your shoulders level. If it's a little higher than waist high, it'll allow for your bowling shoulder to be a little bit below your opposite shoulder, which is the case with most people, particularly those who throw a hook ball. You want to avoid getting your other opposite balance hand too high in the air. That drops the shoulders too much, and so on. Now, what we want to do is, as you're moving to the foul line, try to keep your head and shoulders as level and steady as possible. The chin should be about shoulder height, no movement at all. Think about balancing a glass of water on top of your head while you walk to the foul line. Don't spill a drop. It's a good visualization technique to help you think about not moving. And you want to definitely be stationary and not use your back to arch your back or to stand up or to lean your shoulders and press them forward quickly just before you release the bowling ball. No movement at all. Be stationary as you release that bowling ball. Your eyes will remain focused on your target far more easily, and you'll be in position to release the ball toward your target more easily. And finally, the last tip that we want to talk about for good balance is to try not to let your shoulders open or close. I call it windmilling to an excessive amount. When your ball swings back, don't let the shoulders open too much and then close, because sometimes the closing won't happen until too late, and you might pull the ball inside your target path, or perhaps they'll even stay a little too far open. Ideally, we want the front part of the hip and the bowling shoulder facing your target down the lane. As you walk to the line, keep your head steady, your shoulders nice and level and steady. The less movement, the better balance, and the higher your scores. Well, I hope that helps. And while you're here today, why don't you take some time to look around and see if you find an item on bowlingball.com you wish to purchase. Just simply follow the easy-to-order online instructions. Or remember, our store is always open. We're always ready to accommodate you. And we thank you today for visiting us here at bowlingball.com.